Hello, I'm here today to tell you about the LunaSol Calendar. This is my new edition for this year. A lot of you know about my cosmic calendar, which has a lot of cool stuff about planets on it. And this calendar is similar in design, but it has a different data set. Some of the things are the same and some of them are different. The most important difference is that this one does not feature the planets, but it does feature the moon transits. So those of you that are into the Farmer's Almanac, Garden by the Moon, Fish and Hunt by the Moon, this is the calendar that you would want to be taking a really close look at. And I'm going to break it down for you layer by layer so that you can understand how to read this calendar. I'm going to put that down and I'm going to share my screen with you. I did this with my other calendar and I think it worked out really well for people. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and share the screen. This is the poster in the application that I created in called Adobe Illustrator. It's got a lot going on in it, and so I'm going to just take everything back. I'm going to just make some of these layers invisible. I'm doing laundry, so you can hear that in the background. Let's see, let's turn some of these off so that you can see just what might be going on here at the bottom. Let's just start right here at the bottom. So towards the bottom of this, a lot of this is based on the zodiac and what is where the moon is in what sign. So I have a little handy legend down here that features the elements across the top. It also lets you know whether it's a feminine or masculine sign, as well as to the left here, we've got the qualities that each of the signs have, cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And then to the right, just like on my other calendar, the days of the week are color-coded so that you can have an easier time finding them. And of course, since this is the moon calendar, we do have the moon phases across the top. This is the same as my cosmic calendar, and it does show you what gives you some prompts for working with the moon cycles for optimal success. And then we have some data that shows up on this calendar that is very similar to maybe what you guys saw before. Let's see, we've got shooting stars. So all of the meteor showers the peak dates are marked around the perimeter here of our calendar. We also have the moon phases that appear, and this dotted line actually matches the proximity of the moon. So the closer the moon is to the center, that means it's closest in its elliptical orbit to Earth. And when it is towards the perimeter, that means that it's furthest away in its orbit. Notably, we have the 1st of January, it is a full moon at apogee, which is the closest it can be. And so we have a super full moon on January 1st, which is kind of cool to look at. And then we have, let's see, let's go ahead and go to the elements in the middle next. This is, because this is so focused on just the moon signs, one of the important things in gardening, fishing, hunting, is the element that the moon is in. So I've got a visual representation here with coal being my placeholder for Earth in the middle. I like coal not as a fossil fuel, but as kind of, if you understand, it's the condensing of plant matter. Symbolically, it is pretty much like the most mineral-rich item that keeps carbon in our soil, and it's so critically important that we keep it in our soil. It's actually really magical, amazing stuff, and so I've got that in here to represent Earth. Of course, we also have water, air, and fire around the perimeters as well. So now that I've kind of shown you the easy stuff, let's get into the more exciting parts of this calendar. Let me go ahead and turn off some of this other stuff so that it's easier to see. Let's see, let's get in here to the day radius part. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is, we've got the nested center and the day radius. Okay, So I'm going to zoom in here to January, okay? What we have is a little dial right here that tells you that this is like the month of January, and then I have little notches that help you understand the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, the 20th, so on and so forth, just to help you be able to discern what day of the month that you are looking at. And let's turn my moons on up there. I forgot I didn't have those on. And so what this does is it tells you, I'm giving you exactitude on here, because when we're looking at the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So it's important to know exactly what time it changes because it's such a fast moving object. And let's see, I have, okay, so I'm going to add in now. These are the buttons that will tell you what sign something is moving into. And so the January 1st is right here. It is, I've got the times on here in Eastern Standard, but if you're in a different time zone, you can just calculate by subtracting or adding depending on your time zone. So this is set to New York time zone. So the full moon is at 9:24 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. And then down here, you'll see that right at 3:10 a.m., the moon moves into, that is Cancer. No, Gemini? Cancer. No, that's Cancer. See, I always get confused. So you have to go look down here. That's why I have a handy little guide down here. It's not Gemini, that's Cancer. I knew it. All right, so come down here. So you'll see that there is the symbol for Cancer, and that is the sign that it moves into. I think I passed it. Okay. So, so you can see that at 3:10 a.m. it moves into Cancer. That means on the West Coast, it moves in at just after midnight, 10 minutes past midnight, because you subtract 3 from there. So as you go around the circle, you can see it changing sign and then what time it is changing sign right underneath it. I've also got the full, the quarter moons, the new moons, all marked of exact time that they transition. There is also, this is called LunaSol, so it's a lunar and solar calendar. So I do still have the sun on here. So you've got all of the sun. The seasons are marked as well as when they turn into a new sign. And these are color coded according to element. So if you look at that chart down below, it helps you also understand. So you can tell what sign, what element each of the the moon is in as well as it goes around. So that is kind of a visual cue to help you in making these assessments. So I've also still got the eclipses, lunar and solar eclipses are also on here for the year. Let me turn my shooting stars back on. So that is my quick tour of the LunaSol calendar. And so for those of you that know my cosmic calendar, the difference between these two is the cosmic calendar has a very heavy emphasis on the planets and where they transition at. And this one has a heavy emphasis on the moon transitions, so that I couldn't fit it all in one calendar. So this has the exact times as well as the signs as the moon goes around the earth. Yeah, that's where it goes around, right? Sorry, I feel like I'm trying to do too much at once. So let me bring you this is the website. I have a brand new website. If you haven't been there, it's called, you can get to it by clicking on the top bar and then clicking on LunaSol Calendar. And it walks you through each of the elements in here as well, the days, the seasons, the moon movements that I just talked to you about, the exactitude of it all, and so on and so forth. And it really talks to you about how this is a visual ephemeris. Some of you may know that term and some of you may not. An ephemeris is simply a calculation of the mathematical data points of where objects in space are at in relative position to, in our case, Earth. And so this is a little bit of a breakdown that is also a download for you. So That is the LunaSol Calendar. It is available in 2 sizes. It's available in an 18 by 24. It's also available as a 3-pack and as an extra large version, 24 by 36. You can also get it, some of you love the Cosmic Calendar, which is right here, by the way. And it is available as a bundle. So you can get the LunaSol, the Cosmic Calendar, and a simple moon phase chart for all of the love and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that you've gotten a little bit out of this video. Visit the website spiralspectrum.com for more information, and I hope that you will enjoy looking at this calendar to help you determine where things are. I know I'm a very visual person, obviously. That's why I created these charts, because it was really hard for me to look at traditional astrology calendars and look at that like really tiny print, and I couldn't figure it out. And I wanted to see it all at a glance because I use the calendars to plan my year out, especially since I'm a business owner. I plan my meetings, I plan my product launches all around the moon cycles. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have any questions at all, just use the contact me page right on the website. Again, it's spiralspectrum.com. And yeah, I'm always happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much.